Welcome back to Labstream AI. Today's episode is a treat for anyone who's ever tried building something from scratch with grit, code, and $0. My guest, Nick Pridachin, is a rare breed of full stack developer, part growth strategist, and 100% entrepreneur. He wrote his first program at 14, has been solving complex problems ever since, whether it's automating workflows, building startups, or leading product teams. From guerrilla marketing to building a real business or on a bootstrap budget, Nick lives on the edge of where tech meets hustle. Nick, welcome to the show. Let's start by having you introduce yourself to our listeners.
Hey, thank you. My name is Nick, and I work as the CTO in Digital Octane. And yeah, we mostly work with startups and digital agencies, and we just help them to build tech, to do some marketing, and yeah, things like that. And I have vast amount of experience with back-end, front-end development, and business administration and development in general. So.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit more about the first program you ever wrote and how that experience shaped your journey into tech?
Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, I was about 14, I think, and I started to participate in some kind of courses, like in school. And we had like old computers with DOS installed, and they had BASIC. So I started to learn BASIC, and I also was interested in languages. So I was like learning English. And at the moment it felt like a good idea to build a program that will kind of test your knowledge. You know, I was young, so it was pretty simple. And yeah, it was a great experience to like learn program. Using the same gear, I built my first game as well, which was like platformer game, and it was running on BASIC as well. So yeah,
That's awesome.
that's how it started. Then I got my home computer after that shortly, and it has Windows, so you have more opportunities. I started to like look for books, like how to program, and then after that I kind of got hyped about graphic design and user experience design, and I went to university, and yeah, it defined my career, I guess.
Yeah, no, Digital Octanes. I love the branding, the image, and everything you guys are working on. You bootstrap multiple startups. What's one lesson you learned early on that you still use today?
Well, for me, most important, I think, is to build something rapidly and then fix it later. Like nowadays, it's really important to be quick. Like it's it was experience with the crew startup. Uh, we had the client from Singapore, and
Mm.
he wanted to build social network for people to meet and like to make events. And he wanted to, like, he had a couple of opportunities to show it to investors. So we had about like 2 months to build it, and we decided to go quickest way possible, and we built React-based, React Native application.
Hmm.
It allowed us to like postpone App Store, Google Store stuff.
Hmm.
So we just built it quickly. We published it on a website, and it was possible to open it right from the browser, and also send it to home screen. So behavior was like actual app, but implementation was much simpler and quicker, because we saved about like 3 to 4 months in production, and this way it allows them to show it and yeah, get some funding.
Yeah, I
So
love
yeah,
that. I
yeah,
believe in that concept. Get out to market quick, build it, and then fix it. You need to make the cheese pizza. A lot of people get stuck in wanting to make the combination pizza. I want pepperoni, cheese, onions, olives. Just come out with the cheese pizza. Make
yeah,
it work, and then you can
yeah.
modify it. So I totally agree with that philosophy, and that's a quick to market move. You have a unique mix of skills: development, growth strategy, marketing. How do you decide where to focus your energy in a new venture?
Well, usually we discuss it with the team, and we work in quarterly sprints. So every quarter
Hmm.
we have like meeting, and we decide on the next steps and who will be deployed in which part of our production. For example, this quarter I will focus on marketing, because we hired a new manager in production, and it will allow us to kind of run this autonomously, because last quarter I was focusing on building like solid production because we had some issues, but it's another topic. So this quarter we closed this issue, and I see that like marketing automation needs some eye on it. So we decided that this quarter I will focus on this part, and we will hire somebody if needed. We will build the strategy and plan for like next 3 months. Because as far as I see, nowadays it's not really possible to plan for long term. You know what I mean? Like for a year, for 5 to 10, no chance. So quarter seems like not too long, but not too short, because planning for a week for the enterprise like we are now, it doesn't give you, even the stats, it doesn't give you a good understanding of what's going on. You need at least a quarter to have good understanding. And that's
Absolutely.
another point, like you mentioned, like what are the lessons I learned. Get solid data. That's the most important one.
Get
because
solid data for sure.
because like sometimes, like especially with finance, when you listen to like your coworkers, listen to like somebody who's reporting to you, they can tell whatever stuff, but when you get the data and you see, oh wow, that's the different story. Because one
Yeah.
example, like I just got the report this week about our finance, and like in the report there was top producing developer, and it was shock for me, because we we never knew that this guy is making like that much of like code that we deploy. And I don't mean the amount of it, but the price, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The price
Right,
of the
right, right.
project compared with the
The
things we
work.
do, and it
Hmm.
was like just mind blowing for me. So yeah, just get solid data. Don't trust anybody. Get data and analyze it.
I agree totally. Don't take anyone's word. Look at the reports. The numbers don't lie. As we circle to our topic here, how do you see AI transforming early stage growth strategies for fintech startups today?
Well, for me, I'm more kind of bugged by it, because for me, like it creates more work. You know what I mean? Because especially with incoming correspondence, when clients use AI to generate letters, to generate like some tech tasks and stuff like that, well, it just adds me more work to decipher what was the initial message here. But in fintech, I'm not sure, because I'm not using much of it in terms of finance at the moment. I'm just building my own tools, and like we have our own analytics tool, which I was developing for about 5 years, like slowly. And I'm not sure if you can call it AI, because basically it gets the data, it tags it, it predicts like what kind of tag to put and where if it missed. It can predict like who's the client, it can predict like who's the developer, like what was the stack, and then we just get stats based on all this information. In some sort, yeah, you can call it AI, but nowadays we tend to call AI stuff which is based on language models, right? So I don't use the language models in this case. And honestly, I think they are not applicable everywhere. I think it's overhyped a bit.
Interesting. Yeah, it definitely people don't know what even AI is.
Yeah.
Which leads me into my next question is this, what are some of the specific ways you've used AI tools? You touched on this product you're building, like automation or predictive analytics to gain a competitive advantage.
Yeah, mostly it's prediction. Like data enrichment and prediction. Those are two best way to use it. For example, we have our internal software, which is for lead generation. And we are using crawlers to get the information about potential like agencies, companies who might benefit from our services. And in many cases, you don't have a good amount of data about them. Like you have website name, like what they do, and that's it. So enrichment is the really good way to get advantage, because with data enrichment you can get the contacts, you can get like LinkedIn, and stuff like that. And and prediction based on the information you already have. For example, we have this financial app, and we use it internally as well, because it's like in really early stages, and I don't really want to show it to anybody. Like it needs lots and lots of work to be at least like alpha beta version to show somebody and trying to do something with it. So basically, we have all the transactions, like incoming, outgoing, and all the transaction is marked with notes, amounts, what was the account, like where it came from, who's the client, and other tags like that. Who was the developer on the project? All the information which could be used somehow in the analytics. And in many cases, when it's sourced from different sources, for example, like bank has some kind of output, right? Manual inputs, because different people feel different parts of it. Like
Right.
accounting feels like what's incoming, what's outgoing, but information about like who was the developer in the project is in the production. So production needs to connect to this information somehow. So we have some kind of one like master source of all this information.
Hmm.
And in many cases, in the pipeline, there's some kind of disturbance, and you don't get all the clear information. For some transactions, like developer information missing. For some transactions, the client is missing, and so on and so forth. And
Never perfect.
yeah, and in this case, prediction based on the previous information, because we like have 10 years of transactions in the backlog, right? And we have the script that can get what is available in terms of information about the transaction, and look in the past and just predict what is going to be the category, what is going to be the developer, and stuff like that. And
The AI crystal ball.
pretty much, yeah, like that. And then it just sends to me, and I just confirm, yeah, that's correct, or somebody who's responsible. So yeah, that's how it works.
Very nice. For startups operating on a tight budget, what AI powered tools do you recommend for product development or user acquisition?
Well, maybe it will be a good idea to try some code building helpers like Copilot, and stuff like that. Because if you have an idea, if you don't have like technical co-founder, and you just want to kind of get some kind of proof of concept, it might be a good way to do it easily, like quick draft, like try it out, like put it on domain, and yeah. Um, in other, I'm not sure about that. Like
No, Copilot's
the,
good, and like
yeah, the,
vibe coding.
yeah, kind of like that, and maybe some sort of secretary stuff. Follow up in. We have like a small tool. We use the like ChatGPT API for it. But we stopped supporting it because we have like other stuff to do. But the goal basically is just to send follow-ups. and it
I
saves a
see.
lot of time if you set it up correctly, because like follow-up is really important, right? You
Yes.
send one email, they forgot about it, and then you need to put it in your schedule. You need to remember,
Yeah.
you need to do it again. You need to, and when the time passed, you need to kind of go back and see, okay, what was the message, what I need to write now, or you need to build a pipeline of answers right away. It's lots of work. And instead of that, we just built easy bot, which is powered by ChatGPT,
Hmm.
and it checks what was the initial message that we sent, and it forms the follow-up message. We confirm it, and it's sent. So
Brilliant.
easy enough. So yeah, something like that might help. Like if you don't have a budget, yeah, some sort of like secretary replacement based on like generative AI might be a good idea.
Nice. Like an AI secretary. Very good.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like that.
but in terms of marketing, I don't trust AI. Marketing is an art. So
Yes, and it
so yeah,
requires a human touch for sure.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
in your experience, how can founders balance speed and accuracy when using AI to inform growth decisions?
Well, it's an interesting question. I guess only just uh, n- like you should not give away the work entirely. You need to check what it's doing all the time. That's, I think, the only advice I can give here. Like
Yeah,
don't don't
never
don't
rely on it. Yeah.
don't rely on it at all. Like it should send you stuff for confirmation all the time. If it doesn't do it, if it's like uh, just sending stuff for you and you don't look there, it will be horrible. That's 100%
Wow.
chance.
Wow, no, that's a good point. Yeah, you got to know it yourself. It's just to double check your work and say, hey, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm reinforcing what you think is the situation. So that's noted on that. What are common mistakes fintech founders or technology founders, given you're in the technology space, make when they're trying to integrate AI in their stack too early?
Well, again, the, just something I just told, like, and we were talking about this before. Many of our clients just trying to use it to form correspondence, and it it will be easier if you just send me initial message. That's what we tell them all the time. It's becoming a problem. Like people tell, like, yeah, AI helping us, it's like making us less work, right? But it's making lots work for me instead. And
Right.
yeah, it saves time for you, but it doesn't do it for me on the receiving end. So
Fascinating. It's like the first time I've heard that from a CTO saying, hey, that it creates more work, actually, not less work.
yeah, and actually, it makes me. It reminded me about another case when we were working with a remote designer. So we have a client who is a startup, and they do kind of like real estate LinkedIn kind of thing,
Hmm.
And they have their own designer. We don't like to work this way. Usually, we try to keep everything in in our own team because it's just easier
Hmm.
to, we have the system, right?
Right.
But in this case, they insisted that they will use their own designer, and this guy is using lots and lots of AI. And when we have any questions, any edits to his designs, because we need to prove it, right? We need to check if it makes sense in terms of like data structures, in terms of API, and if it will work as a product. So when we send the comments, he probably takes those comments, puts them in
Chat
ChatGPT,
GPT.
and then takes the initial technical document from the clients and puts it and asks, like, are they correct? Something like that. And he just gets the answers from this chat and send them to us. and it's not
So it's just a mess. Some of it
it
doesn't make
is a
any
mess.
sense.
Yeah, it just
Oh my
doesn't make
God.
any sense.
Right.
It's so horrible. So we had to have several calls with end client and describe them, like how it looks,
Yeah.
like if we proceed with his comments, how it's going to look in terms of like end product. Like it
There's
will
no
not, it
intelligence in the
doesn't make
response.
any sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
And we had stuff like that with designs as well. Like when somebody puts the task in ChatGPT, then tells another network to build designs, and at the first glance it looks okay. Like, you know, if you don't
Yeah.
look
If you
deeply
don't
into it.
read it, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but
Yeah,
when
the format's nice. It looks like, oh, I got my answer, cut and paste. Not.
but then you need to make technical documentation for the developer, and you start analyzing the mockups, and you're like, wow.
Wow.
It like it's like the facade is here, but when you look inside, there's nothing there. So yeah.
I don't mean to be pounding on this AI thing, but how do you see the role of a technical founder evolving in this new era of AI assisted product growth and strategy? I mean, I know we touched on the nightmares of it. Clearly, people are just throwing stuff to the wall and seeing if it works. How do you see this role evolving? I mean, do you see more and more people doing what you just described, or do you think there'll be, some type of balance or
You know, I think we'll come up with some kind of code of conduct with it eventually. It's pretty young right now. People trying new tools, you know, it was always like that. For example, when we were moving from Photoshop to like Sketch and Figma, right? At first, there was no clear understanding like how we're going to do this. Like some people didn't use Mac, for example, and like you sent me the sketch files, like what should I do with them? Like,
can't work? You can't
and
open
then
it.
yeah, and then some startups just developed software to put Figma file in it, like via browser, and you can just use it as a developer, like it show you all this stuff. And then Figma arrived, especially
Yeah.
because like people saw that Sketch is much easier to work with than Photoshop, and like to work as a designer and especially to work as a developer, because developer work in Photoshop was, I remember those times, it was horrible because designers don't like to mark the layers in the convenient way and stuff like that, so it was hard. So when Sketch arrived, well, it was pretty cool, and I think it will be pretty much the same way. Eventually we'll find some middle ground with it.
Very nice. Nick, thank you for bringing up such sharp insight and grounded experience to today's conversation. From your early programming days to building scrappy startups with smart AI enabled growth to your journey is inspiring. For our listeners, if you're building in fintech or SaaS, take note. The rules are changing and leaders like Nick are showing us how it's done. That's it for today's episode of Labstream AI. I'm your host, Mayrak Hamza. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you heard, please be sure to subscribe and share. Until next time, build smart and keep experimenting. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, thank you.